Hello and welcome. In this particular video, we are going to be taking the sketch that Esther did in the previous video and inking it or applying lines to it now in software. So we have the paper sketch of the character that Esther designed, and we're going to put it into and we're pretty much going to digitize it so that we have a soft copy of it that can be handed off to different people that will be working on a particular animation project. You can do your sketches on a tablet, you can do it on straight on a PC. I'm now going to be taking the sketch that Esther made and putting together like a proper digital character model sheet. She already did it in paper, and I'm just going to be doing it again on a PC. Like I said, you can always skip the paper step, but we just wanted to show how from sketching on paper you can now develop your idea or your character in the digital form. Let's just hop right into it. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be using, or maybe I didn't mention it, I'm going to be using Adobe Photoshop to do my inking or character design. This is pretty much the software this is pretty much my go-to software for character designing for different kind of projects, even down to storyboarding. And Photoshop really is a diverse software, but let me not delve too deep into it. I already have Photoshop open. I would then proceed to creating a new document. Since this is pretty much just a soft copy, I tend to use 4K resolution as my setting, and I tend to set document to 4K, then resolution at 300, so that you get a lot of details, I guess. Then I pretty much leave everything else in order and hit OK. I will be doing my inking using a graphic tablet. This is the Huion HS611. It's a graphic tablet. It's not a pen or it's not a display tablet. The major difference between graphic tablets and display tablets is display, you're pretty much seeing what you're drawing, so kind of like when you draw on paper, but with this you have to be drawing while looking directly at your monitor. Okay, so first things first is to import our image. I just simply drag and drop it into Photoshop. Then I would make a copy just so that we have a backup of the original one in case anything weird happens. Then I would reduce the opacity of this to like 30. I don't know, for some reason I just like setting it to 30. And then I'll create a new layer where I would have my new lines. Now, one particular thing about me is that I like to almost like from the sketch, I kind of like to rebuild the character. Unlike Esther, I'm not always able to hit the character immediately from one sketch, because Esther pretty much did this in one straight go, which is kind of awesome. So but I would be trying to kind of rebuild this. I kind of get a feel of the shapes and the forms in the character, and share some of my tips for creating the model sheet. So first off, I think I would start from the profile view I typically start from the profile view or even like the front view. Now the thing is, when creating the model sheet, you kind of need to look for consistency or shapes, because especially for the technique I will be using to animate this character, which is cut out, they are mostly focused on, you know, what shapes I can, you know, easily create, because in software like Illustrator or After Effects that I'll be animating in, I'll be mostly using the shape tool for the different parts of the character. So it's good to build out those shapes right from the character design. So yeah, I'm just going to zoom in here on the front view. I think I'll start from the front view, and you know, just kind of, I'm pretty much going to be, will I say, standardizing it. So I'll first bring up the symmetry tool. Well, I'm on the brush tool, and I will bring out I'll click on symmetry and use a vertical symmetry. Now it usually sets the line in the middle, but I will drag it to like what should be the center of the character's face. And I will hit yes. Then switch back to my brush, be on the, what I say, line layer, rough lines. Now it's good practice to name your layers. It's good practice that we don't always follow, and but yeah, it's good practice. So when building out a character, I like to, you know, oh, wrong brush. I need to be on the hard round and set pressure sensitivity on. So yes, perfecto. So yes, I like to, you know, build out the shapes. I don't need smoothing at 13. Smoothing can be 10. The opacity of the brush should be 100. The flow should be 100. Okay, so let me erase all of that. So good. The opacity, then I now, you know, set the opacity of the line of the layer to 30, just so that I don't see thick black lines. So it kind of like, it feels like I'm still sketching, giving me a bit of freedom. Yeah, perfect. Can even zoom out a bit more. Alrighty then. Okay, so in his head shape, I'm seeing kind of like a circle and like just the jaw jutting out a bit to the side. You know, we want this to be a cute character, cute and appealing character. You know, round, and a common shape for, you know, cute and cuddly is round. So we kind of want there to be a lot of curves to the character, you know, a nice warm smile. Then his eyes, simple, and because, you know, simplicity in animation will help, you know, help us save time, save energy, save resources. So, and I'm using the symmetry tool to kind of like breeze through, so that instead of drawing two sides, I'm just drawing one side. I know Esther didn't add a nose to him, but there is a nose in the profile, so I'm just putting that here. And you know, I should have some guidelines. I usually create a layer for what would be guidelines, you know, so that I could let's see, let me still make this 30 so that it's not too in our faces. For, you know, guidelines for like where the top of the head is. And kudos to Esther, she pretty much got this spot on. Like this is the chin, and damn, me and Esther are not on the same level. But yeah, so those are like guidelines, so I can mark the neck, the chin, where the neck ends, his shoulders, and stuff like that. So so we're pretty much creating a character model sheet, not just inking out the character. We're creating a standard character model sheet, which is necessary if different animators or different people are going to be working on a piece of animation using a particular character. So that's why this particular step is important for the sake of collaboration. Now, okay, so I've basically done his head, then his ear, and okay, moving to his outfit. That's just his hoodie. So, how I said I'm focused on shapes. I'm also considering where joints meet. Where joints meet, and they should be like a circle, so that it will be easier to like have that shape out. So the arms are like cylinders. The torso is like also another like cylindrical shape, but it doesn't need to be rigidly a cylinder. So you can add folds. Like you can add folds to his hoodie. Yeah, you'll notice my character and Esther's character are going to be a bit different. Yeah, because I think I have more time on it. So, I'm just gonna add details and stuff that will make life a bit harder for me. Okay, then this is his hands in his pocket. Let's think about his feet. This will be his knees. Then come to his hips. So where the hips kind of join. Then his feet extend. This is the edge of his trousers. And since he's facing front, his feet should face front. There, or let's make it a bit more sideways. Cool. Really simple shoes, nice looking character, and like I said, symmetry helps us cut down the time. Because as I'm doing one side, the other side is immediately being updated. Oops, I made a boo-boo. So I'm drawing I did most of the details on this grid line, but on this grid layer, but it's all good. No harm, no foul. This is still just basic lines, I guess. It's not the final line, it's just a sketchy sketch. So if you would notice, his hair is not exactly symmetrical, and I want to keep it that way. I could easily just make one side look exactly like the other side, but let's have some character to add some character to this. So I would turn off symmetry and create the hair. Now you may not typically find characters with this kind of overly detailed hairstyle in mainstream animation, because hair is not particularly easy to animate, because you have to consider wind, you have to consider movement, all of the different principles of animation apply to hair. It's almost like the hair is its own living, breathing thing. So yeah, but with this we already have the, so I'm going to just and a quick tip, if you want to generate the back view, is just as simple as, okay, let me merge these two layers together. Control E, then now Control J. I always like create a duplicate whenever I'm doing something new. I would just create a duplicate of the previous thing that I did so that I can always come back to it. I think we call that non-destructive designing, where you don't delete what you were previously doing. And speaking of which, let's quickly save. Name this drawing, no, character. A quick way to get the back view once you have the front view, just let me duplicate this again, Control J, and just drag it to where we have the back view and simply flip. Okay, let me select just this guy, flip horizontal, bring it this way, hit enter, E, and just erase the inside parts, and then I would just quickly draw the back of the hoodie. At this point, you could put symmetry back on, but I don't think it's necessary. So the back of the hoodie, cool. A few ruffles for yeah. Then his butt and the back of the knees. We can add back pockets, or yeah, can add 1 or 2 back pockets. Then the major thing that does change is the direction of his feet, because like with his legs like this, it kind of looks like he's on his tippy toes. So I'm going to bring back symmetry, vertical symmetry, and bring it to the middle, confirm it, then erase the legs, then rebuild. So now the feet should be kind of facing forward, and there you have it, bada bing bada boom. And just like that, we are halfway done. Okay, next up, so now we can turn off symmetry. So here really is the tricky part, because well, not too tricky. So now this is where the lines or the guidelines kind of like come in. We already have these ones. I just need to draw some additional ones for notable places, like the shoulders and his elbows. Let's see, maybe where his pockets start. And like, I really need to doff my hat to Esther. Like, she damn near got this character. Like, just when you see the grid, when you see the guidelines, it's almost one to one. Then okay, for the feet, for the heel and the edge of the trouser. So yeah, now we can do his profile. Maybe just create a new layer, make it 30, and then I think I can freely follow what Esther did for his side view. Okay, and this is where this guy ended, so it kind of scoops up. Okay, so his elbow is here, shoulders here. And you notice I'm always conscious of shapes. Because shapes are your best friend when animating. They are kind of like the, will I say, secret code. Okay, you notice on the profile I am not following this exactly. I'm free to do whatever I want, so far the character still looks like what Esther had in mind. Okie dokie. His foot to the back, just recognize that there's a back foot there. Oh, okay. This is here. Okay, then his kind of large head, and now for the hair, it's going to be tough. There's this big one here, and then there's this, then is this, is there, okay. Then his head folds this way and this way. The ear meets here and goes up slightly, and it's still pretty round. Then we see the bottom, just to give him a pretty much round face. Maintains the cheeky smile, and his eyes. If you notice, I gave up doing the guides on a different layer. I'm just pretty much doing everything here now. And then his eyebrow. And there we have, okay, then I can just freestyle the rest of the hair, I guess. Okay, and you know, these are pretty much all we need. The front view, the side. Oh, we do need the 3/4 view. Which is what this is meant to be. So, but for a standard 3/4 view, that's a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky. So I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, this is the nose. This is his face. I try to do the 3/4 view close to the front view, like looking closely at the front view, because it's a bit tricky. But there's kind of like a system. You know how with isometric drawing, how they say create an elevation, you know, for like how we do top view, side view, and isometric view. So it's kind of the same thing. Like I could extend these lines upwards and let's see, kind of like get what the top view looks like. So this would be like the round of his head. Then at this point, this middle side would be where his ears are. Whoa, he does have big ears. And then if this is with this I'm kind of excluding the hair. And this is like the middle of his face. Oops. And that's the middle. No, that's not the middle of his face. Nope, that's still not the middle of his face. Yep, that's the middle of his face. So I would now like that middle point is kind of where the nose should be. So I will now project this sideways. All these lines, project them sideways. Now I really could just freestyle this thing, but I'm just doing this to kind of show how we can that there's kind of like a method to this. I don't always follow this. See, since I have this dimensions, okay, the nose is here, the top of the ear is here, this is kind of the top of the head. I can now like sketch that, like even based on what Esther did. That's okay. His cheeks are right about here, and his face is still round, and this was the middle of his face. This would be where the chin is, and from here it goes up. Here, and his ear would be here. And the back of his head, his ogo, will be here. Will be here like so. I'm gonna tweak it a bit. And with that we kind of get his general head shape now. Then his neck line, where they line up with his sweater, or his hoodie rather. And then because this is the 3/4 view. There's I'm pretty much imagining that this line that we have running through the center, and this is just me imagining, I could actually, like, okay, if it's going to be here, it means that this line is this center line. Kind of ignore this. Talk about incomplete. All right, so yeah, his hoodie goes to the back. This is like our middle line. So the sides of his shoulders start from here, and if you begin to go down, still draw those lines for guidance. This is where his shoulders. So based on the profile view, his stomach juts out just a bit, just a little bit, following, like, say, this shape. So stop here and extend it down to the bottom a bit. His hand now bends into his pockets, and his pockets pretty much start around here. They extend a bit, and that's where these are his knees. On this, in the middle here. So I did, at points where I go quiet, that's kind of like me just concentrating, or almost like getting into that flow state, just being absorbed in what we are creating. And yeah. Draw the other hand. His lips kind of start meet of his lips meet here, so I'm at the top here, so we have his smile, his nose, his eyebrow, then of course his epic hair. And this time around I'm kind of looking at the front view and just trying to follow the shapes, I guess, as much as I can. Okay. His eyes. And there we pretty much have it. Now all that's left is to ink all of this, like apply the final line. So I'm going to head to that now. So I think now I can turn off the original sketch, bring down the opacity of this group to 30 again. Then now I can apply the final lines. Let me start from the profile view and really zoom in and switch to my brush. So a tip to help prevent shaky lines is to turn up the smoothing. So especially if this is like your first time using a graphic tablet or a pen display, you would want to turn up the smoothing. And I think if you are using a tablet like an iPhone or an Android tablet, I think on apps like on most drawing apps, you can turn up stabilization to make sure that to kind of like reduce the amount of shaky lines. An app that I can recommend to do this on Android and Apple devices that is free is High Paint. Well, they do have ads, but they just pop up like maybe at the beginning when you just open up the app, or when you want to use a particular feature. It's just to watch like a short ad and you're good to go. Then for Apple devices, there are other apps like SketchUp on Android, and I think High Paint is both also available on Android and iOS. SketchUp too, and of course there is Procreate. But having this Procreate, so I cannot vouch for it. Then I've demoed Procreate, so no, Procreate Dreams, not Procreate. Okay. Anyways, so now with stabilization turned up to like maybe 20, I will now steadily draw the lines. Confident strokes, confident strokes. Now these lines are a bit thick, but if you reduce the pen pressure, they become a bit thinner. So yeah, there's that. You just keep on keeping on. Now, for the benefit of everyone watching this, we would make the After Effects file available when we're done, more or less. And yeah, so that at least on the animation side, things are easier for us to follow. Okay. And so that on the animation side, we can all follow along. Now, one thing about doing this is, as I go along, I can still notice some particular things that I would want to change. Like maybe I feel like the shape doesn't need to be this particular way, or I can do this line this particular way. As I go along in this final step, I make those decisions and effect them. Then hopefully whoever I hand this off to will still be able to keep the character consistent. That's for the profile. And let me do the front, and the same cheat code that we used, you can use it while doing the final lines as well. So and on this particular one, I can now bring back symmetry to save time. Make sure it's smack dab in the middle. Okay. So start with a smile. Start with a smile. Yep. Smile. Yep. Nose. Go toward the lip. His eyes. His eyes. So you see, like I said, I can make some final decisions at this point. It's kind of like, it's the main reason why I like building out the character from like rough sketch and adding like these lines that we did on these other layers. I would typically do that like what we have on the sketch. I will do that here, then now do what we did just now, like have this first round of cleanup, then the final line, the character, just so that any last final decisions I can, as I go along, just be adding things or taking things out. Let's go. You might be wondering how I'm able to get the line to be looking all squiggly like this. Is that with the way I'm doing the pressure. I'm applying pressure to the brush. I'm not pressing it all the way down, so it gives it this kind of, that's what kind of makes it have this effect. Like if I press it all the way down, this is how thick it will be. But I'm just pressing it down lightly. And when I draw in reality, if the pencil is sharp enough, I don't apply like 100% pressure. Like if I'm using a normal HB pencil or even like a mechanical pencil, I wouldn't need to apply that much pressure, especially if the pencil is sharp. Okay, he's wearing tracksuits, I guess. Let's see. Okay, and now the shape of his head. Okay, then now his hair. Now see, one thing I'm seeing with this, since I didn't use symmetry, like it's looking like his hair is off to one side. So I'll just, like as I'm doing the final step, just give a bit more space on this other side. So is this fold, this fold, this fold, and this fold, and this fold, and this fold, and this one, and this one, and then this one. Then as I'm going along, I'm going to try and, get it a bit more to this side. Like that, like that, and like that, and like that. Then I have one more. It's not exactly perfect, but we kind of don't want it to be perfect. So we have his front now. Let's go to the side. Now I'm looking at this side view and I don't think his head should be jutting out like that. So like I will draw the head, then move it back. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so for his nose, I think in keeping with the round theme, I will make it a bit round in this view, a bit rounder. Just trying to match the line weights that I used in the other view. And this one was double, not single. Same here. Okay, this was 3 steps. Okay, I'm still here. I zoned out for a bit. Or will I say zoned in? For a bit. Okay. Okay, so now that I've drawn the head, I will use the lasso tool, switch to the selection tool, and then move it back a bit. Yeah, it's like there. Then I'll draw his neck. Yeah. You know, like we say, how the character looks really is up to you, and like even how the character looks at certain angles, it's up to you. And the people whose job is to do this are called character designers. So if you are working in animation and all you want to do is draw characters, like you could learn and become a really masterful illustrator / character designer, and just make a living of creating characters, and work with people who would bring these characters to life. On big budget films like the Disneys and the Shorts Medias, and on major animation projects, they have teams of people, but there's usually a lead character designer who is the point man or point person to what the characters that decides what the characters look like. So who knows, that could be you, especially in Nigeria, as we look to will I say increase the volume of homegrown or homemade animated films, animation content. You might just be the go-to guy for creating characters. You see how if we watch like um, a lot of the animated Netflix shows, the characters tend to, you will notice that they are kind of like maybe 4 or 5 distinct character animation styles, and they tend to be like, will I say, unique to particular studios. Some animation studios like have a particular style that they lean towards. For example, cartoons, they have their Irish animation studio, and there's almost once you would see their characters, you know that this is cartoon. So even on the 3D side, Pixar, once you see Pixar characters, even Pixar inspired characters, you know, they have a certain big doughy eyes, very fluid movements. They have their unique design language. The same way, um, each character designer has. You could be someone that has one particular style, or be someone that can adapt to other people's styles. Now, typically, animation studios would look to work with people who can adapt other styles and also come up with theirs, or have their own unique style. So yeah, if you end up being, let's say, someone who can only work in one particular style, well, it really isn't the end of the world. You could either find someone or like a project or a studio that would fall in love with that your particular art style, and even maybe build a particular series or uh, character just around your art style. Or you could, create something yourself with your own unique vision, your own characters, place them in their own world. Um, One good thing about animation is that when I say it's a free world, we are free to create the world we imagine, and you know, fill with characters that fit our particular art style. So, um, and really, what really is an art style is really just like a let's say, amalgamation of habits, drawing habits over time. Like you draw your nose in a particular way, uh, you use a you press down your pen when drawing in a particular way, right? Or you love uh, to just the collection of habits that we imbibe over time while doing. That's pretty much what an art style is. Now I noticed that on this view, the character does seem a bit wide. His hands should be somewhere around here. I could simply just use the lasso tool, and select just his arm and scoot it forward, and look at what that has done. So it does change things a bit. So with the hand here, I just need to erase this portion, bring his body down,
this. Like I said, this is one of the benefits of drawing multiple times that you get to see as you go through different, as you erase, draw, or rather as you draw on, you would notice things that you can change, tweak, or correct that will make the character come out better. And I would say also don't be afraid to tweak things or change things, so long as it makes at the end of the day, it will make your work um, look way better. There's really no need to fear change. So, okay, I think that now the first note is like it straight. But then I okay, so now with this with the front view, you can just select it and layer no, let me just use the Somto and hold and Alt and go to the side and click on edge to kind of like transform tools, right click and flip horizontal. Okay, shift it to the side of it. So it's inside and Control D and select. Now I'll just erase the parts inside. Take it again. Okay, I can actually tell symmetry background, but I'll leave it off. Okay, so this is the trouser to the back. In fact, I'll tone back, bring it to okay. Then one single do other do and the last one is this. Here we already can see the back of this head. Definitely less prominent, especially pretty. Okay, back pockets. Buttons. Yes. Okay. You can see okay. So I'm searching just put the finishing touches. Okay, we can see those here. I should have added these and for final symmetry should be on, but I got this. Okay, and with that, we have the uh, line work for our character model sheet. Now I could go on to add colors to this bit. So we can leave the coloring stage for last, or we can let's just color this 3/4 view. Yeah, we color this 3/4 view. Okay, so the final thing is to check. The final thing is to add the colors. So this is our line layer, and let's add this. Okay, so his skin will be a beautiful shade of brown. And yeah, so let me first outline everything. We could actually just come to the line layer and pray that all of our lines are closed, and I don't think the spaces are closed. So I will just continue, continue painting. You can also use the lasso tool to select areas, like large areas. Then I'll just use the brush around the edges to get a more defined, or what I say, more accurate edge. Alt backspace, and now paint just the edges.
So I'm using a lot of keyboard shortcuts instead of going through the tools, like going to the toolbar and all. It just makes things faster. And thankfully, the shortcuts are being displayed on screen, so you can follow along as I switch between shortcuts. B is for the brush, E is for the eraser, typical stuff. And spacebar is to use, I hold down spacebar to use the hand tool. Okay, and then I can just switch to the lasso tool and hold backspace. Okay, we have the general area colored. Then I would create a new layer for like his hoodie and create a clipping mask. Right click and select create a clipping mask. Then what's the color of the hoodie? Let's see, this I think is a nice color, so I just color in the side that is his hoodie. And the good thing about using a clipping mask is that I don't have to bother about the edges, because if I do anything outside, it's not affecting it. So for his pants, I think we'll go with a deeper blue for now. This is hoodie. This is pants. Trousers, depending on what side of the pond you're on. Cool. Then sneakers, I'd imagine he would wear red sneakers, just to keep things interesting. Shoes with white shoelaces. Then his hair is black.
Okay, so at this point, our character is fully colored, but I think finishing touch, I'll add a bit of shadows, but like you don't have to do that with this. Your character is pretty much colored and good to go, and whoever else is going to be designing the character kind of already has an idea of what they will look like. They know the colors to use and stuff. So I would just add lights and shadows, and that would be it. This is the coloring. So this is the coloring. I switch to uh, the default color, which is black. Make this layer overlay, and this time around 40% opacity. Then just shade in areas that should have shade. Now, one of the reasons why um, you can always leave the character without shading is that on the animation side, lighting and shading for 2D animation does take time. So you may want to skip that. That's why you notice a lot of 2D animation. The characters don't have a lot of shadow detail. You might just see like maybe small shadow under the nose, or you may not actually, maybe not even do that. All are ways to kind of make the animation process a bit quicker because it does take time. So we are adding shadows, and you could even use like a textured brush to kind of give the shadows a bit of texture. So that's not just so it's not just like if you want the characters to look like maybe they came from the Spider-Verse, you can always like make it texture. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it stays. Now, the issue with using overlay instead of multiply, let me just go ahead and use multiply. This overlay doesn't really show on white. Like if you use dark colors, white, you won't see it. Now switch over to white. Let's make this shade and another pink and change the gradient to what? Screen, make the color maybe orange to match solid. Or maybe But still unfaithful one. Yeah, that's me. All the places that you demand is touching. Let's go ahead and plan. Okay, with this, our character is complete. So thank you guys. See you on the next one.